That really impressed me.
I call it heaven in the mouth.
It was fresh, it was delightful.
That was absolutely divine.
So cool and so fun, I didn't want to leave.
You're gonna love this place.
My favorite way of eating really, really fresh fish is pretty much eating it raw. So today I brought you from one of my restaurants a just cut piece of cobia. And you can use this idea on scallops or anything that you really love to eat raw. Just make sure if you're buying it, it has to be sushi quality and it has to come from a very reputable source. So for sashimi, one of my favorite things, what you do, you have to have a very sharp knife. And I'm gonna cut it into very thin slices like so. What I'm going to make is a warm, crunchy vinaigrette to give a little bit of contrast and textures with your fish. I'm taking some plums. You can also do any kind of a citrus, would be a lot of fun. I'm going to heat up some oil in my pan. The pan is already pretty hot. I'm adding a touch of olive oil as well as some sesame oil for flavor. I'm just going to get that until it's almost smoking. I'm taking a piece of plum, cutting little slices out of it so that we have little thin sort of sheets of plum sweetness. The plums are going to be crunchy. The fish should be very nice and smooth in your mouth. So for the vinaigrette, this is really nice and hot. I can see a little bit of smoke coming up and I can smell that sesame. So I'm going to add a very fine julienne of fresh ginger, serrano chilies sliced very thin, almost as thin as the plums. If you don't like serranos or if you have a jalapeno, perfectly fine. Removing this from the heat, shaking it up just a little bit. I'll add some soy sauce to it, and it's done. And then you take that warm, what I call vinaigrette. I know there's no vinegar in it. Those little bits of ginger and chilies, and of course the warm oil and soy right over the fish. If you're like me, you'd eat it with your hands because it's just so luscious. If I may, I'm going to wrap up the fish with some of those plums and that ginger, and I'm going in. See you guys later. You've got to try this luscious sashimi and warm vinaigrette. Find the recipe at checkpleasefl.com.